Hello guys, and welcome to a Battlegrounds updates video. This is actually going to be for the first patch for the game that just came out today, and we're going to be discussing it, talking about some future plans as well. So let's get right into it. Also, this video I will be changing it up. Usually in my update videos I show you guys kind of like screenshots in the background and leave the text from the report on top of that, but for this one I'm going to be showing some gameplay. The reason I didn't do this before is because I didn't want it to be too distracting from what we're talking about, but if you guys prefer gameplay instead of just text and the screenshots in the back, then let me know and we'll just keep it like this. Same goes for my DayZ update videos. If you guys want to comment on those, let me know. But let's get into it. The first part of the notes here were actually the early access schedule, and they said that during early access they plan to release updates in 3 phases: daily updates to improve the server performance, weekly updates to push bug fixes, client performance and stability fixes, monthly updates to add new content, and push balance passes for gameplay. Next, they talked a lot about sound and kind of how it works in Battlegrounds. I'll be going through some of that stuff and discussing it with you guys as well. This is apparently something that they had a lot of questions about, a lot of feedback on, so they wanted to take a little bit of time to explain how sound works in this game. First, they start off with the basic stuff, saying each gunshot sound you hear in the game has propagation delay based on distance between the source and the listener. The propagation velocity is 340 meters a second, so if a pistol is shot 340 meters away from the listener, he will see the muzzle flash first and hear the gunshot 1 second after. If a gunshot is fired indoors and there is no direct or approximate line of sight, the reverb effect and LPF are applied to the sound effects. If you guys haven't fired guns inside of buildings, if you haven't been in a gunfight inside of buildings on this, you probably haven't noticed this. I was in one inside of a warehouse and the gunshots sounded pretty awesome, so that's a cool effect they have in this game right now. Next, they explain how the bullet crack / whiz effect works in Battlegrounds. Now they put a lot of details here, and you can even see an image right there kind of explaining how all this stuff works in this game. But they did give a pretty good example, so I'll just be sharing that with you guys. They said most of our weapons are supersonic. This means that you'll hear the crack / whiz before you hear the actual gunshot. In a scenario where you see a shooter 1,000 meters away using an AWM, which has a 900 meter per second muzzle velocity, the events will occur in such order. You see the muzzle flash, after 1 second you'll hear the crack / whiz, and finally, after 3 seconds, you'll hear the gunshot. So that's how it currently works in Battlegrounds. They also mentioned that bullets passing close to the player will generate a crack sound, and ones passing further away will only generate a whiz effect. And to close off the sound section of this report, they said in the current public build, all bullets generate a sound crack effect. We've changed this mechanic by adding a velocity check, so bullets traveling slower than the speed of sound will not generate the crack effect, but just whiz. So that's going to be the most recent change when it comes to gun sounds in Battlegrounds. But they will be looking for more feedback on this, and they will be changing things accordingly. So they will be doing a Q&A they just mentioned in this report, so stay tuned for that. The next part of the report actually talks about client optimization, but I ended up making a video on this last week when they first talked about it. So if you want to see that, link to the video will be probably at the end of this one and also in the description, so check that out. If you missed it and you're curious about optimization when it comes to Battlegrounds, that's something you definitely want to watch. They also talked about leaderboards, and they said the leaderboard system has proven to be a very popular feature in Battlegrounds, and for the most part we are happy with the current ranking system. However, the system will need balancing once we have sufficient data from a good sample size. The ELO system will need many balance passes before it's ready, and to complete this we'll be wiping leaderboards on a monthly basis to allow us to get a clean data set from any changes we make. I think that's a good move. It's kind of cool that they're gonna be, changing it every month, and every month you can have a chance to see where you place on the leaderboards. I think that's great. They also mentioned that they will be adding a client update to bring Oceania and South American servers online. These servers will feature their own regional leaderboards as well. Also, ping lock. Now this is a big thing. They said we are looking into implementing ping lock for our servers. We have no ETA on when this will be added just yet, and at the moment server performance and stability is our highest priority. We also don't want to restrict the ability for friends in different regions to play together, but we understand how frustrating it can be playing against high ping players and take this very seriously. Please bear with us as we come up with the best way to add this new feature. So ping lock is coming, but they are looking into how they can implement this without really being able to play with your friends too much, and also just not having it where normal players get upset that they're playing against someone with really high ping, and it becomes something that's frustrating. So this will be interesting to see how they actually implement this into the game. Alright, now to the actual week 1 patch notes. First they start off by talking about the Oceania and South American servers. Those have now been added to the game. Next they talked about server performance. They said resolved an issue where game server performance would degrade over time. Also resolved several server crash issues. I'm glad to hear that last one because it actually happened to me a few times where the server would crash. Very annoying, especially when you're far into a game. Also client stability, they resolved several client crash issues, and for client optimization they added a view distance setting to the graphics options. Now onto gameplay, they said adjusted movement speed of endgame play zone, also adjusted weapon sound volume in lobby. Very good changes right there. For the UI, they removed the crosshair while in a vehicle and not in the aiming state. Also added the ability to see item durability state directly in the vicinity panel. Next we have the list of bug fixes for this patch. First they said fixed a bug with the volume of crouch walking, partially addressed performance degradation when opening inventory, fixed a problem which would allow characters to go under the map in certain areas, removed depth of field effect when spectating in team play modes, fixed a bug with the character creation system, fixed an issue in the revive system where a player would get stuck in the revive animation when the down player died, fixed a bug which would cause the player unknown high top trainers to render incorrectly, fixed a bug where the character would receive damage from vehicles while behind trees/walls. I actually had that last one happen to me. Very frustrating. I'm hoping that fix completely took care of that, because I had that happen to me, and I kind of went back and I was streaming, I watched back the clip, and I was like, yeah, I was definitely behind that tree when that vehicle just ran me over. But glad to hear that that's been fixed, and also all the other stuff that they talked about. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's patch video for Battlegrounds. If you did, be sure to hit that like and subscribe if you are new. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.